see if I'm streaming because I have no clue. I'll have to check. See. I think I am. Put this behind my back. Oh, yes. Now, I need to pull this a bit closer. Hi Robert, I'm just going to check the... Just moving some stuff. Right, hang on a minute. What is that noise in the background? What is that noise in the background? I had a discussion about this. It's like, anyway. Oh, it might be feedback off that, is it? Anyway. Right. Is it feedback off my phone? So I'm going to wait for people to come in chat. Hi, Archangel Michael. Is the sound alright? I think it was the feedback off the phone. I'm just going to wait a little bit anyway and give people a chance to come in. So why we're doing that? Echoes. Is it echoing now though? Yeah, gremlins. It could be other things coming in. Could be good, you know. Janine, spooky start. Yeah, I don't know if it was my phone echoing off my phone. Hi Lois, how is it now? Is it better? Is it better? Just let me know. You might need a brew for this chat. Yeah, thought so. It was a feedback off my phone. But why I'm just going to wait for everyone to come in. Thank you. I'm going to do a bit of centering myself because this is the chat that I was going to talk about. I told some people that this weekend I was going to talk about centre. Some people say centre point. I like to say, yeah, centre. And how we get back to it. So I like to talk about it and explain how I see it, just the way I see it, the way I understand it, because other people might understand it when you're actually coming on and talking about it. For people who might not understand it, but you get it anyway, it's just another word really for coming back to yourself, to the real you, to the godlike you, I would sort of say, God essence, let's say, love, centre, whatever. So I'm a bit crumped up, so what I'm going to do while I wait for people to come in is I'm going to get my shell and I'm going to do a bit of, I never say this right, it's Palo Santis. Palo, I always get this wrong. It doesn't even burn that well, but we're going to try it. I'm just going to center myself for this chat because this chat may trigger some people. It may trigger people who are watching. It may trigger people who are watching in the background, lurkers that watch me and say that they don't. Paulo Santos, thank you. Yeah. But that's okay because this chat is not... this chat's about the truth. And it interlocks with so many things going on in the world with people's energy. And one thing I'm learning more and more about, yeah, it smells gorgeous though, nicer than sage, is energy and people's energy. So, I'm just going to do this a minute, so let's all ground ourselves. So this isn't really a chat where you can come into chat and talk to people, but it's not a chat to shout out to me, you know, Janine, Dolly, whatever you want to call me, because my nickname's Dolly. My real name's Janine. Oh, don't talk about this because you've talked about it before, and don't talk about this because it's negative. It needs to be said, but it's going to be said in a centered way, because it's an understanding of an experience that when people don't realise what they're doing when they're not in centre. And it'll go into how we go back to centre, how I see we go back to centre anyway. So I'm not telling anyone how you must do it, because you need to do it the way that calls you. But I see a lot of it going on from observation everywhere, out there, on YouTube, everywhere. Within people at work, everywhere. Within me sometimes, because we're all working on ourselves. That's what it's all about. So we're just going to breathe in. We breathe in the goodness and we breathe out the shit. So we're breathing in from our tummy, centre, solar plex, the centre of you. Breathing out. And we've got Yodas coming this time, so it didn't burn that long. It's what I mean about this stuff. It doesn't seem to burn that long. But I'm gonna leave it there a minute. Just see, get some going for you lot. So I need to go and get something I forgot to go and get actually, so I'll go and get that in a minute. So we'll just cleanse a little bit. Now, what I will say is to everybody, just sit back and listen. A lot of things that people get confused about is when they don't sit back and listen, they prejudge what somebody's going to say and what it's all about. Let me get to the end of the show, and then you'll realise if you're feeling a bit triggered by thinking, oh my God, like I said, we've heard this before, it's negative energy. It isn't. But I'm going to say it like it is. I'm going to say the truth, and I'm also going to bring up something that probably won't seem very nice. There's a lot of things out there that don't seem very nice. And I've never brought it up. I brought it up before, but there's one thing I never mentioned because I didn't want to mention it. But then again, this person has mentioned it on their own channel. They have mentioned it with an interview with somebody. So it's not like they've not brought this up for themselves. And not that it's a problem, because people have these things, and I believe because the way the world is, and this is why these things happen. But you'll understand, because I don't know how it's going to come out. It's just going to come out the way it comes out. It'll be a bit jumpy here, there and everywhere, probably back and forth of remembering stuff, but it's all going to go into a massive positive ending with a present that's over here that I got for Christmas for myself, but also for you guys, because I'm going to be using it with you guys and other people in the very now future. So I'm just going to go and get something. Yeah, so don't prejudge what I'm going to say. Wait till the end. This is about energy. It's about us centering ourselves back into our essence, our core, and it's all good really. And I hope it does make somebody see, but then again, I'm not quite sure, because there's too many people in my eyes that are out of whack. It doesn't mean that I'm not still working on myself, but I am. But I'm hoping a lot of people can see from where I used to be a while back, where I used to get pretty angry about stuff, and I used to be a bit more snappy in chat, that I'm far from that person way back then, because I've let some of that go. So I'm going to explain that all in a minute. Hi to everybody in chat: Lois, Michelle, Renee, Sue, Archangel Michael, Red Dawn. Yeah, my cold's a lot better. I just let it naturally go through its process, and it's a lot better. Still a bit snuffly, but be back at work tomorrow. Robert Hart, Lois. Did I say Lois? Who else is up there? Mary. Anyone else that comes in chat, just say hi. Dobsy as well. Because I'm not going to look at chat, because I get distracted with this, what I'm about to do. Because I need to get it out my way. So I'm just going to grab something and then I'll be back. think there's enough people in. Now, there may be some people that pop in, maybe. I don't know. But I'll explain that after. I am going to mention names, and I hope that people don't mind the names that I'm going to mention, because it's just, it's just talking about what's happened. I don't want to go, this person said and that person said, blah, 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 blah. But like I said, it's going to go into a chat of, it's basically consciousness, it's basically centre, and how we get back to centre. I know that the world and a lot of people in it are feeling very out of whack, and we get pulled into things, and then we pull back out. And then with what's going on in the world right now, no matter what belief system you're on, with the this and all this stuff, a lot of people are not feeling, well up here in your minds, because it is frustrating, and it can cause a lot of people who are not well to find it harder to move through, these times that we're in. That's a fact. And what we're supposed to be doing with all the some people have said in the past that I'm fake positive and all this positivity meaning, and it's like, I have my own shit going on in my own life, but I try to be positive alongside things. Sometimes I can be in a bit of a mood. It depends what's happened. Things go wrong sometimes, but it's about uplifting people's spirits at the minute and trying to be, a lighter person around the things that are going on. When I talk about shine your light, it's not about going into fear and doom and gloom, because that doesn't help anybody anyway. It just makes people worse. So like I said, this video is going to jump around everywhere, because this is how I am. But it will all make sense. Now, I am going to out somebody on this channel that I have outed before, because this thing has not stopped. But this thing isn't about, it's nothing new. People have heard about this person before, but it came to my attention again. And this is all to do with cycles. And it's very important at this stage of this cycle, the end of this year, to get these things, negative energy, ways, habits and things out of your system to go into the new year, especially what's about to go down and what's going into the new year. And as we're waving into the age of Aquarius, which is spirituality over material. Doesn't mean you're not going to have material things. It just means everyone's going to become a lot more loving, not judging, which that will be brought up, because we all judge and no one can say they don't, because we do, and then we have to rein ourselves back in again. So like I said, don't get caught up in what I'm saying thinking it's negative. Just sit back and listen and wait till the end, because I know there's some people on here that may be like, oh, don't get caught up in it all. Well, it just needs to be said, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull something out of this book and see what it says. 43. I am always able to make the correct decision. I recognise my own intuitive ability. People should be listening to their intuitive abilities. A lot of people don't. They listen to other people and other things, and we can all do that, but initially you've got to go back to you. So we're talking about centre, solar plex in the chakras, which is here, and how we can bring ourselves back in, because like I said, there's a lot of people, I've spoken to people on here that have been coming out a bit out of whack again, and then they're wanting to find the centre. Now, I've talked about this all the time, not calling it centre with me going back to essence, but how we go back there in a crazy world. So this book I've got on astrology. Now, I'm into astrology. I don't mean like I pick over it and I know everything about it. I just understand that the stars above, you could call them, we've got Father Sky and Mother Earth down here, the Schumann resonance when things are going off. The planets and stars and everything, the planets affect us, the energy off the planets affect us down here. Sometimes when you're out of whack and you're thinking, what was that? That's not me. That's not my core. That's not my core centre. Sometimes it's to do with the planets. It can be to do with everything's energy. Mother Earth, Schumann resonance, we've got Father Sky, you could say, and all the stuff going on up there. So I'm going to read out of this book. It's great because it has all the planets here. And if you don't know, they all have different energies and things and, what's the right word, aspects that we have in ourselves that are governed by the planets like that as well. Unless you can, it's not manipulation, it's like knowing a planet's coming in the energy, and that might be why you're feeling like whack. This is how I see it, and you can either rest or not do something in them times that might make you, like, say, go and get triggered or something like that, because you know a certain energy's in and one of the planets matches up with that. So I'm just going to, it's just very short, so I'm going to read it out. So it says, funnily enough, the planets and an overview, and it says assessing balance in your chart, because you all have a star chart with different planets that come in, this, that and the other. So anyway, the sun, that's why I thought I'd do this on Sunday, because sun's to do with the centre, and the symbol for the sun is a circle with a dot in the middle. I always see that as God as well. You can see it as an eye. It's the centre of you, because you are the centre of your realm. But yeah, it says the sun, the central core of our being. So that's what we're going back to. The sun on a Sunday is to do with the sun, Sunday. And we've got the moon, which is, by the way, Monday, moon day, very intuitive. Instinctual responses and nurturing principle. That's what that energy is. Mercury, how we think, learn and communicate. Mercury is to do with Tuesday, I believe. I might have the days wrong, I don't know. Yeah, I have got them. I thought they were in the correct order, but they're not. So that might be Wednesday, actually, but I'll check because it's in the book. So yes, I won't say that. I think it's Wednesday. We've got Venus, which I know is Friday, is the principle of pleasure and or relating. Obviously Venus, love and all that sort of energy. Mars, how we assert ourselves and direct our energy. I'm sure it's a Tuesday. That's why I never tried to get, I'm sure it's a Tuesday, we'll check in a minute, into an argument on a Tuesday, because that's all it's to do with that as well. I might read them out. Saturn, the principle of contraction, structure and boundaries. Well, Saturn's been in a lot with this world, and a lot of celebrities and stuff like that. A lot of people say Saturn, Satan. Boundaries, structure. Well, the old structure's falling, as we know, those who know. It is falling down because it's time. And we've got Chiron, the wounded healer. It's coming in to heal. We've got Uranus, the force of enlightenment and sudden change. We've got Neptune, that's my ruler, is the force of enlightenment and sudden change. Neptune, oh sorry, that was Uranus. Neptune, sorry, our ideal vision and what inspires us to devotion. It's funny because I'm always talking about what inspires you. Pluto, the force which brings about transformation, which is funny because I'm sure that's coming in, and there's a lot going with transformation. So Sunday is Sunday. The moon is Monday. Mercury. Oh yeah, Mercury's Wednesday. Venus is Friday. Yes, Mars is Tuesday. So I did get it right, and that's to do with conflict, vitality, energy, fighting spirit, sexual drive. So it's not all bad. All the planets have a good aspect and what you could call a bad aspect, dark and light, you know, and they go into retrograde and things like this. So you can use the energies planets for certain things. A lot of people might use it and go into anger, because I see a lot of people doing that. So if anyone would just like to put a thumbs up in chat, because I think you're all still there, I think you are just listening. Thursday is Jupiter. Some people call that Thor day as well. Thursday. Growth and opportunity. So that's a good time to use that for growth and opportunity. Thank you, Lois. Saturn is Saturday, and that's to do with concentration, structure and order, patience, discipline, authority, limits, seriousness, serious, formal, tradition, rules, hard work, mature responsibility and dignity. And it's always like the world around us. Saturn in the sky, Saturn in myth, and Saturn in the world around us, because it's the energy around us as well. Yeah, Thursday. And that wasn't a planet allotted to the days of the week. So going back to, where were we? The sun, which is the core centre of everything. I'm just going to read this out. So, have a drink of tea. Where is it? So, when we're talking about going back to centre, and I'm always banging on about what you love doing and joy and all this sort of stuff. The sun stands for, and there's the symbol. If you don't know the symbol, which should make sense to be centre, and it's like a cell because we have our cells and we must speak to ourselves and tell ourselves in our bodies every day that we love them and so on and so forth. But you are the centre as well, and this is all about going back to centre. Now what I will say in the chakras, which I'll just read off my little chakra chart, is the solar plex, the element of fire, because to me that's like, you know, your passions, what you love and your enjoyment and stuff like that, is I feel, because this is where you feel from. The body, reproductive organs, navel, crystal, amber, I think it says carnel, I don't know what that says, red garnet, essential oil, sandalwood, fennel, cardamom, is it ginger? To balance, to balance, no, I'm reading off the wrong one, sorry. I'm reading off the one next to it, sorry. Fire, colour yellow, obviously, the sun, and your centre is the sun. Mantra, I act, because it is where you act from, and some people are really acting out of line, and this is what I said about getting back into alignment, this is what it's all about. Body, digestive system, stomach, crystal, tiger's eye, citrine, which I love, which I have, let me get it, I love citrine because it's yellow, it reminds you of the sun, it reminds you of joy, so it's a good crystal to get if you ever, you know, you're feeling a bit depressed or you want something that makes you smile. Is citrine. Don't know if I can get it in camera, because it's yellow like the sun, and yellow makes you think of joy, sunflowers, stuff like that. Hi everybody in chat, but I'm not looking at chat because I'm sort of not going to get distracted. So citrine, which makes sense. Lemongrass, essential oils, incense, lemongrass, lemon, grapefruit, cinnamon. To balance, spend time near a fireplace or fire, explore qigong or martial arts, eat fermented foods that are good for your digestive. Out of balance, fear, loss of control, lacking in motivation, lethargic. Imbalance, personal power, energetic, alignment, inspired action, determination and will. Oh yeah, I love and I just feel like doing these as well. And then I'm going to read out of the book. It'd be funny if we got the sun card. It'd be funny. So, I only want one, I don't want a story. Oh. The Eight of Pentacles, which to me is a woman sat down and she's doing the things that she loves, you know, focusing on her own things, arty. She's creating and crafting stuff that she wants to put together, you know, to bring in abundance, because Pentacles is an earthly sign and it's to do with money and abundance and stuff like that. So this is what I always talk about, focusing on your own thing that you want to do. Not looking at others and screaming about others, which is what I'm going to talk about very soon. So, because it's all about centre, we're not supposed to be focusing on other people, because when you're looking over there at other people, you're not really concentrating on what you want to do. So, the sun, identify and life purpose. The core centre of you and the sun is to do, when this energy comes in, is what we're going back to now, is your life's purpose. Is your life's purpose to go around bullying people, trying to bring people down, being negative, being a doom and gloom brigade, being the one that nobody really wants to be around because you're doom and gloom? I mean, if that's your life purpose, brilliant, but you won't find many people that want to be around you, or maybe bringing opportunities and things, because people don't like being around doom and gloom people. Just as the sun is at the centre of the solar system, so the astrological sun is at the heart of the birth chart, with the other planets in service to the process of self-development. How many times ever spoke about self-development. So I've always been talking about centre, because I'm always talking about self-development and how some people are just choosing not to self-develop themselves. But we're always talking about self-development and creative fulfillment that it represents. It rules Leo. The day of the week is Sunday. The metal is gold, and the colours are gold, orange, and yellow. The aspects of it and energy it brings in are purpose, vitality, creative power, heart of our being, inner authority, shining light, which I'm always talking about, shining your light, your own light, self-development, I'm always talking about, central goals, pride, self-confidence. So yeah, and it says the sun in the sky. In our material world, the sky provides illumination and warmth, regulating the days with its rising and setting on our years, with the cycle of the seasons. The sun is our source of life and energy around which everything revolves. The sun in myth. Solar deities bring light and vitality. The Babylon Shamash, I think it says, was a symbol of justice, and Helos, don't even know what that says. The ancient Greeks drove the chariot of the sun across the sky. In Egyptian, Ra, Celtic, I think it says Lug, I'm not sure, and the Hindu, I think it's Soye, I don't know how to say it, too, we see the life-giving spirit in the sun, meaning a lot of countries use their own deities and they're all really the same thing, picturing the sun. So all that, hi to anyone who's just come in chat. So we've got that, and then we've got the sun in the world around us is bright yellow and orange. Flowers are governed by the sun. That's why a lot of people love yellow flowers, sunflowers especially, because you think of the sun. St. John's wort, because that's really good for people's depression and it helps calm you. A lot of people use that and it's natural. Falls under the sun. This planet, because if you didn't know, a lot of the herbs and plants go off the planets as well. So when you know when something's coming in, I think Laura Eisenhower was saying the other day, but I knew this anyway, you can use certain herbs that help with it natural, you know. But they do, what's the right word? Corrugate, not corrugate. Yeah, with the planets as well. The planet symbolises monarchs, presidents, which is hilarious. Don't you think that's hilarious? You know, the president that I like, who is shining his light and is talking the truth, and this goes into this chat of people getting triggered. It doesn't matter if you're new, you're not, or you come over and you're not into a certain Mr. T, but he is off the light team for the sun, for God, and I'm just saying, don't get triggered. We all have different opinions, but everybody knows mine on this channel. If you're new, you won't, but yeah, presidents. But we also know there's been ones that haven't been very, they've not been in the centre. This one's a little bit different. And heads of state, it can signify the father too. Solar places are places and theatres. There's a big theatre going on in the world right now. Anyway, and then we've got a sun through the signs, but I'm not going to read all this out. It says the sun in your chart, we have the solar potential, the quest, the pride, our true path, and the central purpose, which is the sun describes our core sense of identity and the journey we undertake over the course of a lifetime to develop the latent creativity within ourselves. The sun symbolises our inner guiding light, yep, our essential vitality and our central purpose, our true path. The sun is our orchestrating principle towards which the other planets are somehow leading us. We might liken it to Jung's concept of the self, that's what I said before, self, where ego can give way to a more holistic version of ourselves once we have gained a measure of self-knowledge and recognised our true path. This is where it goes on to what I'm going to bring up. Hi Zal, where some people might get triggered thinking it's negative because you've heard me say this before, but it's in with the chat. So, again, self-purpose, let me read that out again, the self, where ego can give way to a more holistic version of ourselves once we have gained and measured self-knowledge. Self-knowledge, it's a bit like self-enlightenment, and recognised our true path. When you start realising things about yourself and recognising things about yourself. Did I just say that? And observing yourself, which I've talked about before. It's nothing new. Other people talk about it as well. You start to realise when you're behaving out of whack and when it's not really you, because it's other people's energy around you, all the planets, all the animals, all the plants, everything's energy. And you start to go into centre and go, that isn't me, you know, what went on today that has triggered me to be this way. Don't really like being that way, don't like feeling that way. Personally, that's what I've done over time. When I first came on YouTube, didn't know what I was doing, got into a few chats with different things, got into a few different truthing, I'm not going to say communities, because I'm not in a community, I'm with myself. I talk about it on here and you guys come in that sense. We are sort of a community, but, you know, truthing community, whatever you want to call it. But with that, I got trolled on stuff I was talking about then. People were there for that. And then I got a bit more into my spirituality. I wouldn't say that's a community, and I wouldn't say I'm saying got into my spirituality, but we are all spiritual, so we're not getting into it. We're just remembering who we are. As I've said before, cut a long story short, I was awake at a certain level to the spirit realm. I always believed there was angels. I always believed there's a guardian angel been looking after my family. My mum's always said that, my sister's always said that. I've always felt my nana around when she passed away. I've never poo-hooed woo-woo stuff or what people want to say. I've always believed in that since I was a kid, and it never went away, because there were certain things I felt when I was a kid. I think I said a story about this thing that I could only say, I called it the blob because I didn't know what it was, and I wouldn't come out from under my bed. I just felt a presence, and I knew it didn't have arms and legs. So I don't know. It was a presence of energy. Looking back now, doesn't mean it was bad. I was scared at the time, but we're not told about things. But that was when I was about 4 or 5 or something. I don't know. So it's not like certain things I've come across now have shocked me, like, oh my God, these things are real, you know, to do with the veil and what we don't see, but we know it's there because we feel it in energy. I've always been into the whole, personally, when spirit speaks, it don't always speak a language. It could be through something that pops up on the TV, on a billboard, music starts playing that reminds you of something, you'll see a sign, stuff like that. But I do believe these days things are coming in more and more, because the veil is very thin, if it's not, you know, whatever. I don't know how thin it is, it's dropped or whatever, but I'm just saying. So none of that has ever been a shock to me. I've just got to check something. I'm going to try something in a minute. It might not work. If not, I'll have to try and show you on my phone. Now, when my awakening happened, because everybody goes through it, it happened in 2017. Like I said, it wasn't a big spiritual awakening. It was the awakening to the corruption that I didn't know about. Yes, we all know the government's not very good in certain aspects of things on that sort of level. Most people know that's nothing new under the sun. But I didn't know what extent. And I've never what do you call it? What's the word? I've never. What do they call it over here? I've never. Oh God, what's it called? I have never voted in my life, because it never interested me. That sort of stuff doesn't, or didn't. Because we all know that they normally just have two sides that's normally the same side of the same side, and they just do everything to get their shit in. Until 2017, not that I've ever still voted. I will be voting if certain people come in a certain time, especially in our country with a few people that I know that are going to try and run. I would do. But in my heart, I vote for you-know-who, Mr. T, because totally different story. But like I said, don't get triggered in chat, because it's not about that. What I'm trying to say is my story of, I knew there was corruption in certain areas of the police, little bits, this, that, and the other. That's nothing new. I didn't know what extent it was at until I came over the 17th letter in the alphabet, if you know what I'm saying, because you know, you get told off for saying all this stuff, and that's why I've been banned 3 times for certain videos that I've put up, you know, getting censored for talking about stuff, which you wouldn't know why, would you? But most people do who are talking the truth. They've been censored and took down. So when I came across that, oh God, as we all know, it was just shouty. Oh, I've just seen something there, Mark. I don't know what it's about, but much love, and I'm doing some healing at the end, so stay tuned. I went in the shouty mode that everybody goes in. Shouty mode. Screamy mode. Even got pissed off with people in the chat that would come in and say, you know, I was very, very protective over Mr. T. Very protective over certain stuff, because a lot of this is to do with children, as we know. Some people out there have been shouting out this person that I'm about to mention very soon. It's not about we already know about, you know, the paedophiles and this, that's the Great Awakening isn't about that. Oh, it is. That's not all of the Great Awakening, but one of the biggest things is about the children, and the people that don't want to know and don't want to see are going to see, because dark to light actually means the light will shine on the dark, and the dark and the light to me means truth. It doesn't mean let's cover it up, let's talk bullshit, let's sweeten it up so it tastes better to your palate of what you're going to find out. The truth is truth, and this is why I've decided to talk about a person in a minute that I hope sees this, because I know she watches and can really take a good look at themselves. So I don't know if they will. I've been here before. I've been in this cycle before. Last year this happened, so it feels a bit like Groundhog Day to me, saying this again. But yeah, it is all about the children. It is all about the children. But there's many different levels to the awakening that a lot of people don't understand. But I'm not going into that because this isn't about that. It's about going back to centre. But all this stuff, all this so-called bad stuff, does send you to go and look at yourself and go back to centre. And to me it did, and I'm still working on myself, but I'm not half as shouty as I was a few years ago, because I just found out a few years ago about all the horrendous stuff. But with the horrendous stuff also came the beautiful spiritual stuff of more things coming in that were like just amazing, because I was tuning into that, because it was pushing me that way, because these things push you to go to the light. Some people don't, but they're just going to take longer to get there. It doesn't mean they're not going to get there, they're just going to get longer. You know, remember who you are. So you have to calm down a bit. So everyone at the minute around the world is at the different levels. I know it's not levels, but I'm just saying that stages of awakening, shouty, screamy, action, non-action, fear. Some people may do violence, but it's not about that. But they start to realise. Now, when I was going through my bit of a shouty stage, very protective over Mr. T, which I still am, but everybody's opinion's their opinion now, and I'm not bothered by that, because a lot of things we were talking about with the number 17 is actually being seen, and I've been saying it's being seen very slowly. It's coming out a lot more. The stuff with what's been in the courts this week on Monday, the people that they're talking about, you know, people said it was a conspiracy. Yes, Mark, I did say at the beginning you don't have to come in. This isn't a drag down chat. I'm just being real here. It's not a drag down chat. I asked people, I've warned people about 3 times. It will seem a drag down chat to some people, but it's not, because it's telling a story about our centre, and this is how some people are, and it's going to go into some healing after for this person as well. But I'm not going to sit here and not talk truth about it, because it just needs to be brought up. I felt it needed to be brought up, so you don't have to listen. I am not offended by that, but I'm not going to not talk my truth. And it's not really to do with this person, it's to do with the energy of this person, which is in a lot of people at the minute that a lot of people are seeing, and what is going on in the world, and we wish they'd only see. But I'm not here to do the work for those people. They've got to do it for themselves. But I talk about things openly so other people may see this in them, or in people around them, where they can learn to switch off to it, because I had to. So if you feel offended and you don't want to listen to the end with the healing that's coming, because I have to start somewhere with it to get to the other point of it, which is where we heal. We've all been in this energy. We've all been somewhere at some point, but it's an experience that I'm talking about. I can't not talk about it. I can only talk about from experience. So I personally have to let it out because it's my healing. So if you don't want to listen, oh, that's fine. But, you know, this is why I say sometimes just try and listen to what people are saying. You don't have to take in what I'm saying because it isn't your story. But I have to get it into the things so everyone knows what I'm talking about, of what I'm trying to get out. Yeah, and I'm letting it out. So, Dolly, it wasn't about that one. It wasn't about what you're talking about. Oh, okay. But anyway, you know, if anyone comes in, that's what I mean. If you get what I'm saying. So like I said, it's choice. But no, that's okay. Like I said, that's why I don't like getting distracted by chat, because we get confused in the chat sometimes. But thank you anyway. And we are doing a meditation after, so I'm trying to get it out as fast as I can now, because this is a story of when I woke up, and these are the characters and energies that came in. So most of you know this, I've spoke about this before, but it just shows you how people go around in cycles. We're going on about going back to centre. What we're supposed to be doing is, every year, every new cycle, we have to let go of things. I've said the other day, when we come into springtime, sometimes all about creating and getting out there and being alive and meeting people and all this great energy, because we've been, you know, in winter, and then we've got like the little holidays and things going on. Like Halloween is like, someone said the other week, and it was a really good way of saying it, skeletons, you know, spooky things, but skeletons in you, getting rid of your skeletons, your shadows, your shit, looking at your shadows and shit in those times. Get rid of your shit, get rid of your shadows, letting go. We start moving into winter, letting go, like the trees with the leaves, you know, we're following nature because that's what we do. Winter's about nurturing, going within, like you're in your home, but I mean going within as well, but all, because it's all related. You are reserving your energy. You're going to be reflecting. This is a time to reflect on what you've done this year. Have you been a good person? Could you have done something better? It's all self-development, yeah? And then we let go. We're Christed like again. Christmas, Christ like. We go into the new year with new ideas, a new zest for life, and we don't want to take some of the shitty bits that we may have been last year into the new year, because otherwise you're going to cycle around. And that's what I've said before. If you're not aware of that, awareness of that, of self, what you've been doing, if you carry on that, you'll just keep cycling the same old shit with the same old things, with the same old people, with the same old circumstances. Nothing new, no new energies is coming in. If you get what I'm saying, I think it's pretty simple. But there's people out there that don't understand that. So this is me from an experience. So as I've been going through my journey on YouTube, everybody's seen it, everybody's seen different stages of me going through what I've been going through. There were some videos that I've seen of a lot of people, and there's some that I liked, and there were some that I saw a few, I thought they were good, people had commented, I'd commented back, and that was sort of it. And then this woman started getting coming in, saying things, and at the time it was when I was a bit more shouty, and she didn't have the same opinion on me with Mr. T, which I don't mind now, but at the time I was more shouty about. Anyway, different things went on. I don't know this woman. She's called Melissa Arden, I believe her real name is. She's off a channel that was called Thoughts and Perception, doing her own thing, and now she is Awakening Leela. Now, a lot of people have seen me speak about this woman before, because the amount of silliness, pettiness, lies that she's put out and tried to slander me over the past few years. And I'm not a victim, because I'm not the one who says she's not doing anything to me. She's just been trying to put things out about me that are lies, because it never come to fruition of anything. And it was always this, I'm doing this big outing of Dolly Daydream. The people who know, if you knew, you won't. But she had a channel, I checked it the other day, it's still there, she may take it down, but once something's been seen, it's been seen by people. So I know there's a lot of people out there who saw this, and there's a lot of videos she has took down because she looked manic on a lot of them. But the people who saw it at the time know, and I know, and some of the people have just come into the thing now where they've also figured out what she's been doing. And she had a whole channel up called The Deception of Dolly Daydream, where she's put videos up about me, she spoke about me, she edits videos to make you look a bit dim and all that, and she puts words over them, you know, saying how could anyone like this have a heart, and it was crazy, but it was laughable But I just didn't understand where she was coming from, because to me, she wasn't here, she wasn't in centre, she wasn't here either. She was well out of whack, because the stories that she came up with, because that's all they are. In her head, she believes it, but the point in the belief and the truth is so different, but it wasn't true. I don't know her, I've never met her, I've said this last year, so she cycled back round in her own doing. Because the funny things that she'd said, because every time she'd put something up, it was laughable. And I think I only came to her attention a few months ago. I don't even know what it was. When I got banned for a month, it seemed to be when I went quiet, she seemed to come up a lot when she'd actually put my full name out there, slandering. What's the other word for slander? Like defamation of character. She was doing that because she was saying, yeah, Robert, I've said to people, she's like the media. She'd be really good if she worked for the BBC, because they're all deceptive and dishonest. She'd get a really good job and do really well in that, because for those of you, so she did videos on me saying I was a reptilian, because she slowed the video down. She told people that I'd killed the cats. She figured out that I'd killed the cats because she'd seen it in a dream or something bonkers like that. Though I've never met her. I think she's from down south London or somewhere, I don't know, with her accent. But I've never met her. Never spoke to her in real life, anything like that. So she actually really knows nothing about me, only what she sees or thinks she sees on YouTube. She told people that I was stealing money off her PayPal account or something bonkers like that. I don't know how you do that, and I wouldn't do that anyway. I've got my own PayPal account, and I create my own things if I wanted to do that, which I do. Like these beautiful earrings that I'm making. What else had she done? She told people in a video that I'd been stealing a coat idea because she was designing coats for some top London book shop or something. I don't design coats. I've never designed coats. It was a drawing that I did off an oracle deck that I'd actually showed, so that was wrong again. She was writing all symbols all over her flat walls and different things. She was shouting my name out, Janine Flannery, most people know that, but she was shouting it out all over the place, telling people not to buy my jewellery that I make because I'm a satanic witch, and I'm a super soldier because I was brought up in the barracks in the army when I was younger, and my dad was a tank driver. I was a super soldier, I worked for the CIA, all these manic things of like, really? A super soldier, oh my god, I didn't know that. So I had to laugh at it, but it started getting a bit weird because yeah, it is jealousy. And then she said I stole her awakening, which I don't know what her awakening was. I think it's about trees or something, because she's really into trees. It was all because she got jealous because I went on a John Maplin from Project Camelot. I went on their show, they know me, they invited me to stay there in the hotel, if you remember, free of charge, but I couldn't go because it was just too far. It still cost us a lot of money at the time and we hadn't got a car. But I will get down there one time to Tintagel, to John, and he got me on the show talking about trees. Yeah, I'm satanic. I might be a bit witchy, but I'm not satanic. There's a dark and light in everything. It's energy. If you're the dark side, you're going to use energy for the dark. If you're light, you're going to lose it for the light. She's talked about shamanic things, I think, before. Well, you know, shamans to me are like a witch doctor, witch, sage, whatever words to use, druids, blah, 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 blah. It's all the same to me. But people will skew things to make things look, you know, this, that and the other. There's been loads of stuff. And, yeah, but a few weeks back, it was when I was banned, she was screaming out about stuff again. It's always I'm doing something to her. She told everybody I'd stole her destiny. How do you steal somebody's destiny? It's your destiny, Melissa, because I hope you are watching. I'm sure she is. It's your destiny. It's your life. You need to take responsibility for it. Nobody's doing anything to you. But the thing is that Melissa, I know about Melissa, that I found out that I never spoke about last year. I wanted to, but I didn't bring this little bit up. But I'm going to say it now. Yeah, she focuses too much on me and not on herself because she's obsessed. But I might know why she's obsessed. Now, this is not something I'm bringing up because this person hasn't brought this up themselves. They've spoke about this on their channel because I saw it quite a while ago when I was trying to find out why she was acting like this. And one of her friends did actually tell me, but it was on a video where she did an interview with a guy from, I think it was America, I'm not sure. If the video's in her things, I don't know now, but it was. And like I said, the people who know will know. She openly talked out about, and this isn't getting at people who've done this, because of a lot of people who do this, and it's to do with past traumas and things that have happened in people's lives. So it's nothing saying, oh my God, look at this. But I was trying to understand why she was doing what she was doing. This lady, Melissa, is a recovering heroin addict. So I look at that like, do these sort of people get, because I've never been in the drug realm thing, attached to people, addictions, but I know people with addictions with drugs sometimes lie a lot about things. I don't know how that happened, when it happened, how old she was, what the story was that got her into that. Was it a childhood trauma? Was it family? I don't know, because I didn't listen to it. I just know that is what she told people, and that is maybe still what she's recovering from. So then I started to understand this mindset of, she's not in a full centre, she's not, sorry to say, a full shilling in that way. None of us really are, so I'm not even getting at that. We're all in a mental asylum down here, and the reason why we all are is because of the way we've been deceived from the controllers that are falling down, and the structures and the things that are going in. So that isn't me being horrible, saying something about somebody to get at them. This person has already done a video about themselves doing this, so it's nothing she hasn't spoke about. But if you can see where I'm coming from, I understand where she's coming from, and I've felt sorry in the past, like, has she got good people around her? Has she got a family around her? Has she got people that, is she, I think once you're recovering, you're always recovering. Why be on YouTube where you're making yourself vulnerable to people? Because it is a vulnerable place to be in, and you will get trolls and people that come over. So I don't want people to go over to that channel and say or do anything, but I'm just trying to say this is where people are coming from, and this is why a lot of us are messed up in the head, because of the way the world is and has been, and we've got to go back to centre. And why I'm trying to bring this up is because she talks about being spiritual, or has been spiritual, doing Reiki and stuff like that. And when I got into Reiki this year, beginning this year, did my certificates were up there. Not that that means anything anyway, and she threw hers out, because it was like, as soon as I went into Reiki, it was a thing like, oh my God, she's gone into Reiki, you don't need to do this, you don't need to that. Then she sort of fell off Reiki, because I think she thought it was evil because I was doing it. But the point is, anybody can do it, and it's a thing that a lot of people do. But when I started doing it, it was a thing. I got told in a dream 3 years ago, a very vivid dream, 3 or 4 years ago, that I was going to heal and I was going to help other people heal. I didn't know how that was going to go, how that was going to come in, until I went for a Reiki session myself for healing, and this energy came in of, oh, I've been here before. I was like, oh, it feels like home. And then there was a picture over on the wall over here, I don't know if I can show you, of the blue being of that one up there that came in. And then I had loads of experiences with different things, bit spiritual things, since the Reiki and stuff like that, and I'm still learning about that, practicing and doing it on people, bringing the healing in. So I don't know what you're all saying in chat, but yeah, I don't know, but I'm not going to look at chat in a minute. So all this weird stuff was going on, and she's still carrying on, because she sees things, and I have come across it lately where she still puts stuff out. And then it got brought to my attention I don't know if it was a few days ago, I can't remember now, that a lady that she sort of knew, I don't mean knew personally, but on YouTube, who has a channel called, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying, Wild Style Vlogs, had mentioned my name. So I went over, because I thought, oh, what's all that about? I thought, God, it's not more let's troll Dolly sort of thing. Not that bothered, it doesn't affect my life. I'm working on myself, I've got things going, my fella's moved in, things are going as well as they can, you know what I mean? I'm getting my life together, stuff like that. But Wild Style Vlogs, I knew about her because I'd seen some of her comments sometimes ages ago, and she would agree. I don't know if she's in here now, she may be. She didn't like me, but that doesn't matter, because I just do what I do, and the people that come in resonate, and if you don't, you don't, and that's what you do. You go to the channels that you resonate with. That's why I used to always say she should focus on herself, and the right people who like her sort of stuff have pulling people down will go into her chat and so on and so forth. It's not that she does that all the time, but she does quite a lot of it. That's what she's focused a lot on. Not Wildstyle Vlogs, the Melissa. So Wildstyle Vlogs, I'd seen a few of the videos, but to tell the truth, she didn't really watch me and I didn't really watch her, just seen a few things. I used to think, yeah, she's got some good things there, you know, she's a bit cray-cray, but I know she'll say that herself, but she's doing her own cray-cray thing like I'm doing my own thing, and that's her. And I think she spoke about the things that she does and has in her life and how she functions with different things, and that's fine, and that's her channel. You know, if you don't choose to watch someone, you don't choose to watch something, but she'd put something out. So I just went over to read it because I was just observing, and she was putting all this stuff out about Melissa, saying that she's been trolling her and she's been spreading lies, and I think you should apologise to Dolly Daydream for trying to make out you're a victim when it isn't you. You're not the victim, you know, you've been spreading all this stuff about. And I was quite like, oh right, thank God people are beginning to see, because I knew through consistency, which I've always said, you go and look at my Instagram or anything else, and this goes to dark to light, which is happening in the world. That's why I said it all mingles into everything of people being seen for who they truly are and what they do, is people would see in the end. And even people off her channel, it's not saying she's a bad person, she's just not in a centre, would see the game that she's playing and how she does it and how she tries to deceive people. And she's always on the go of trying to get in contact with people to collaborate, because I've seen the comments of she wants to talk about this thing that's happened to her for years about me. It's always that, and she's gone after 3 people that I know. One was being 007 that I used to do shows with, a lovely witchy lady called Anya, and I think it was Tatted Tea, where she wanted to speak to him behind the scenes because she wanted to slag me off. She wanted everyone on a hate campaign, which I just thought was hilarious, because I just thought people would come over. She's only advertising me at the end of the day by talking about me all the time. People with a sound mind would come over and go, actually, I don't get what's going on. I don't get what she's saying about this girl, blah, 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 blah. And that's what's happened. Wildstyle Vlogs has seen it. She's realised that she's been doing it her. She actually told me, you know, she's been talking to people behind the scenes. She does a lot of this deceiving stuff. She's doing it with her now. And even Wildstyle Vlogs said she'd come into mine to check me and said, because she's always going on about you, I came over and I started to watch a couple and thought, you know what, this girl's all right. She seems pretty positive, because that's all I try and be. And she's not the person that this, and it's not matching up to what she's been saying about me. And then another lady, I hope she doesn't mind me saying, which was, I think, Aphrodite somebody, because, sorry to say, she was another person that, you know, got pulled in by it. It doesn't matter, because I just talk to the people that are doing my chat and stuff. And she said, I'm really sorry as well. She said, you know, you're a positive person, you do a lot of creative stuff. I didn't realise this person was being so deceiving. And I said, well, I knew people would know, because at the end of the day, none of it's true. If it was true what she'd been saying about certain stuff, the police would have been at my door. She's never spoke a truth or speaks out. Mainly she sits in the dark. She puts videos up of things that are edited off other people's stuff. Not saying that's wrong, but she doesn't come on camera live because I don't think she's got the confidence to. That's fine. But you don't go after people because you're jealous that maybe someone can sit on live, someone has a lot of creativity, I don't know, whatever it is that she doesn't like about me, or that I'm evolving and changing, and you're just going after someone. So what I'm saying is, when you're in your centre, you start to know about yourself, and you're focusing on yourself. For someone to say they're spiritual, and they're aware and they're awake, and she's called Awakening Leela, well, you need to wake up a little bit more to yourself. You do not go around every opportunity you get to pull somebody else down constantly, because this is what it's been constant, and act the victim, and then constantly going about this person, shouting my name out, shouting Dolly Daydream, bringing other people into it, shouting out about the Yakatar family, which I call this group. How would she know that? Because she's been watching. Yeah, putting out about, you know, don't buy my things and this, that and the other. And then this massive big thing about trees. And I'm thinking, well, when you normally say you like nature and you're spiritual, you are into, you probably do love trees. I love trees. I always said that. I've had a thing about an oak tree. Where she shot herself in the foot with that one was, you know, she reckons she's the only one in the world that's had an experience with a tree, whether that was on psychedelics or what, I don't know. A lot of people have, and with it and without it, a lot of people have that connection to earth and, you know, trees. And I've always had this thing about oak trees, because I spoke about when I was younger, and I used to dance around this oak tree when I was little, you know, collect acorns for the fairies that lived in the tree, and it was called Mr. Oak Tree. I always had this thing about oak trees because they're very wise, and when I see them I just think they look very wise and all that. And then find out, you know, that my shield, my coat of arms, my Irish name coat of arms, actually has an oak tree on it. It's an acorn tree with 7 acorns on it, and I only found out that the other year, and I didn't know. My numbers that I resonate a lot with is number 7, 7 heaven, 7 acorns on it, which has a lot to do with the divine. Also, it has a war cry on here, which actually stands for "May your tree flourish in heaven." So that was a bit of a, well, I haven't got a connection, but it is on my family crest that I never even knew about. So that must have been me intuitively knowing when I was younger, knowing, but I didn't know, but I knew, if you get what I'm saying. So you knew without knowing, and then you find things out, synchronicities, and you're like, holy shit, look now, didn't even know. And it's got the one of them has got the roses on for the Rose of Crucibles things, if you know what that's all about. But yeah, so in a sense, it was all like a bit back in your face of her own doing. And this is what I'm saying. When people act like a victim, no one stole your destiny, Melissa. You stole it yourself by focusing on me and not focusing on self, whether that's healing, maybe go and get some new healing for maybe addictions you've got, or I don't know, just putting that out there because that's what you put out yourself. You can't go around saying you're spiritual and you're going to one in unity and love and light when you're actually going around trying to pull people down at every opportunity and going behind the scenes and trying to collaborate with people to pull people down. This isn't me doing a video trying to pull you down. This is me doing a video of trying to get you to see what you're doing. So when you go into the new year, if you're still putting stuff out about me, or you jump onto somebody else, it shows where you're at, and it does not show that you're here. It shows that you're out of whack. So as I said this last year to the same person, carry on, because I'll carry on regardless. I've said before, I don't want to know you. I'm not into that energy. I don't want to know. You need to find your own place and your purpose and stuff. And if you work on yourself, you will find that. If you start going back into centre. Yeah, lots of toxicity floating around, and some are projecting it. She definitely projects it. But this is what I said, it's not just about her, it's about what's floating around right now, just like Lena said, because this is floating around right now. So a lot of people projecting their own shit. And the word with it all is, as I've said before, it's taking responsibility for your own actions and that you have brought in yourself by your choices you have made. I did not make this woman take heroin at whatever age that was, because I don't know. She knows. She spoke about this. I don't know what she said with it. And put her into the family that she's into. I don't know what's happened to her family, if she has a good relationship or not. I don't know. I don't want to know. That's her life. You can't go around blaming someone for the life you have got now, for the choices you made. You know, I talk about selling my jewellery, sometimes doing this when I'm creative. Next minute, it'll go up. Oh, look at Dolly trying to sell stuff. You know, this was a while back as well. Asking for money when I had a super chat. The super chat was up there because people were asking to make a donation because they wanted to make a coffee donation. How much they put in was up to them. People want to buy my stuff because I make handmade jewellery. How do I advertise myself? Is she going to advertise me or somebody else? No, I do it. I make handmade jewellery and oils and different stuff. So if I want to come on my channel, you are a channel, and advertise my handmade things that are made with loving intentions, I will. If you're triggered by that or offended, I don't know, go and do your own thing, you know, go and sell your own things, go and get creative. But the only way you do that is by focusing on yourself and what you love to do. So when we're talking about coming back to centre, yeah, she is very hurt. That's what I'm saying. I don't hate the girl, or, you know, I can forgive what she's said, what she's tried to put out there. But when I say take responsibility, how does she know that she didn't affect something by? So that's what she was trying to do, by what she was putting out. I mean, it didn't. That's why I'm not affected by it. She's only a little channel like I am. She's not nothing big, and neither am I. Like, it's putting something out like millions of people were buying stuff off me and it's affected the thing. But the thing is, the people will see, and the people have started seeing what she was doing. So if she thinks that's affected my life, it hasn't. You know, she's going on about people putting spells out because she knew I was into a bit witchy stuff. I don't do that. Learn what that's about. She was doing that. It looks like she was writing on a wall symbols and all sorts of things, and putting out about people wearing masks, constantly calling people fake. Yet this woman puts profile pictures up of herself where she puts filters up so she looks a lot younger than she does now and a bit different. That to me is a mask. That's fake. You know, come up to camera and be yourself. She goes on about people being fake. She and only some other people are the true organic humans. What's all that about? Ego, I'd say. So there's all that stuff. But yeah, dark to light. But it is again about finding centre. So I hope she does find a centre. But then again, like I said, I'm not really interested what she does next, because that's up to her. Does she want to cycle around in that energy? Does she want to move forward with her healing of her things that she needs to heal? Or is she just going to go around blaming everybody, being on YouTube, which doesn't sound like a good thing to me, because it feels like, I feel she's getting distracted and the wrong people are going to her channel that are egging her on with stuff. She's looking for community, you can tell that. But with that, you've got to start working on yourself, because if you don't work on yourself, the people that you're going to attract into your community are not going to be good people. So you have to work on yourself. This is all about working on self. So to Melissa, it's up to you. You can carry on doing your smear campaign. That's fine. That's up to you. That is just going to show people again what sort of energy you're in. Or you can move forward with this last bit of the year, hopefully, and start working on yourself. Instead of projecting what you don't like about yourself on others and trying to twist it, work on yourself. Go back to things that you love to do and go and do that, and stop looking at people that you think you're in competition with. As you've said before, I'm not in competition, I'm just doing my thing my way. I don't do competition. It's like at work at the minute, there's like this thing about who can be the fastest picker and packer, and it's actually bullshit, because people cherry pick certain trolleys to make them faster. I don't. I just do it, and a lot of stuff gets left like big machines to pack, and everyone goes round it because they take longer and they want to be quicker. I'll tackle the big machines because I'm not arsed, and I've done it quicker sometimes anyway. And once when I did win it, I won it genuinely and authentically, because I wasn't doing this cherry picking thing, because I'm not that sort of person. So yeah. So, like I said, it's not a bad thing. People might go, oh, I didn't want to hear that, and you should have put out that she said this about her addictions. She's already said that herself, and I want people to know where that person's coming from. Yes, it's not nice. She needs healing. We're all healing. But the point is, it's centre again. So if you're feeling like that, if you're around people that are constantly doing that, or you feel like you're doing that, it means you're out of centre. You're not in the centre. How do we come back to centre? We start doing the things that we love. We're going back to love. Non-judgment. Wildstyle Vlogs was saying, she admitted in one of the comments, I've judged people, I judged you. We all judge. But to tell the truth, you can't judge someone on YouTube, really, because if you haven't met them face to face, you don't really know them. She doesn't know me. She's never met me face to face. Some people on here have actually met me face to face, so they know. But you can't judge. And it just looks really silly when things happen and nothing comes out. Like Wildstyle Vlogs has said, there's no receipt, there's no truth in it, there's no proof. There is no proof, because the stuff she's come up with is all made up in her head. It's her belief, but just because she believes it, which she does in her own world, doesn't mean it's the truth. Doesn't mean it's the truth. So, as I'm saying, we're going to let that go now. Let it go. But it's just to say people have seen what that lady's energy is in, and they've seen the manipulation and lies that she's brought forth. Like I said, it's not affected me. It only pushed me to shine my light more, because I'm not in fear, because none of it's true. So, you know, so this isn't a get at. This is a, I've seen it. I'm quite aware. I take responsibility for my life. You need to take responsibility yours, and stop blaming people for the decisions that you have made. And that goes for everybody else out there as well. It's time to take responsibility, ownership of your life. Don't be blaming other people because you're looking at other people thinking, oh, they're much happier, or they've got this, or I haven't got that. Well, that's just all jealousy and lower energy, negativeness. We're supposed to be going to a new world which is about positivity. It doesn't mean shit isn't going to happen, but it means you're going in a more positive alignment, more positive words and being. Christ-like is love. It's being aware of self. It's working on self every day. And that's where we're going. So we don't want this old energy. So this is what I'm saying. Those people like her that are in that energy, if you're just going to move on in that energy next year, cycle back round in it, you're not going to get seen out there in the world anyway, because people are sick to death of that sort of energy, of people year in, year out, pulling people down instead of lifting them up and giving people inspiration, especially in these times of upliftment, I can't say it, which I do believe I've been doing, because I believe one of my sole purposes is to do that. But the way I do it, the right people come onto my channel that need that. I've said that before. That's not a big-headed thing. That's just the thing I've been told. So this wasn't a bad chat. It was just trying to explain to people why people have certain things going on, because she has this, I don't know, illness. We all do. That's one of hers. Other people have different things. Mine is slightly different because I don't believe I've got a lot of things to work through with my shadow work. I've still got stuff to work through because I've been working through it. If I was the same, because the difference is with me and this woman is, I'm talking about that situation that's popped up, that was there for everybody to see, that saw it. So it's the truth. And people have started seeing the truth. The difference is with me and her is, she was constantly putting videos out, slandering all the time, bringing up all these stories. I wasn't doing that about her. I was just talking my truth. She got offended by it or thought it was a similar story or something that she put out. It doesn't matter, because a lot of people around the world have got similar experiences. That's what the word is, experiences. So, you know, it's get over it, let it go. Stop looking and you won't be that triggered, and just start taking responsibility. So to get back to centre, when you feel something bad coming in or anxiety, you need to breathe deep into your tummy. Breathe in the good thoughts and the positivity, and let go of breathe out the negativity. Go into centre, do that a few times and it will calm you down. Then think about the things, you might need a pen and paper, I don't mean now, that I've said this and said this before, you love doing, you want to bring more in. You've got to be around the right people and the right places and things to get in alignment. You know, you want to be around more positive people, more inspiring people, not people who are sat in doom and gloom and want to go and conspire and do stuff because they want to bring other people down. What is that energy about? That isn't God essence energy. That's some sort of dynamic energy, some sort of, you've got a rip in your aura and that entity energy is coming through. That isn't source-like. That isn't source-like. It isn't source-like. So anyway, so what we're going to do is, I've got a present here for you guys. So I'm just going to see if I can pull a few cards. We're going to do a bit of healing. And this is for her as well. So we're going to send it out to her, but to everybody and you who are feeling in that sort of energy. So we're going to do a self-care card first. And then we're going to put some healing out. Yeah, like attracts like, and I've said this, and I've said this because I knew this person watched and they might understand, but they don't. So I'm not here to do the work for this person. They've got to do it themselves. So I'm not here to sort her life out. She's got to do that herself. Whether she does or not is up to her. And the people she surrounds herself with, if she's around people. Or to try and push herself to get the help she needs. Make a vision board 33. That can help people get back into the centre, because you're seeing visually what you want to bring in and you're remembering every day, oh yeah, so what it could be words, what start putting this together, or this project, or it could be a picture of nature, trees, whatever, I want to get out more in nature, I want to do this and I want to do that, to remind yourself. So you know, like I said, some people will see it as negative what I brought up, but I don't personally. Some things have to be said. Hi Big Rainbow Wizard, and I also want to say to Wildstyle Vlogs and Aphrodite, you know, not that I need it, but thank you very much for the apology and saying that, you know, you've judged as well as we all do judge, and you realise it. You know, thank you. I didn't need it, but I knew people would see in the end. So let's do another one. So I don't know what you all think, and I think you get what I'm saying is you can't be in centre when you're doing stuff like that. It just doesn't. It's not true alignment. Oh, the magical cloth. Yeah, that was off Rachel Pixie, a subscriber. I've had a few things off subscribers. It was Tree of Life. It's upside down. It's on my dryer. So yeah. Yeah, I pray for all who have troubles and heavy hearts. And that's what I mean. It's not because it's a hate thing. We all have them. And that's what people have got to understand. Uniting is realising that we all have problems and we all get through it the way we do. We don't have to do it the same way as other people do it. I have my own beliefs and things that I do. And it's not to go, oh, that's wrong because you do that, you wear crystals, or you had dreadlocks in your hair. I did have dreadlocks, and that was another thing that came up. Oh, she's not this, she's got dreadlocks in. That's a personal thing that I wanted to do. And they say you change your hair up a lot with energy, and then I had them out. And now it's different again. It's not right for people to say it isn't this and it isn't that. You're not here to tell somebody what's right and wrong for them. They've got to work that out themselves. Because a few days ago she was saying something about magic is not, what was it? It's not the way to God and all this. It's like, I'm going to see if I can show you something of my Archangel Michael that came in. But I don't know if I'll be able to put it across. I've gone on, oh God, I don't know. I'm going to have to show it by, oh my God, what's going on? Right, I've got a flower on there, don't ask me. What is going on? Right, I was going to try and be clever and bring it up, and I will get it up on screen because I took a picture, but what I have to do is show you on my phone, so I can't see anyone saying anything, so, you know, I'll say since I went through Reiki, I know I'm protected by Archangel Michael, and I've got a lot of the angelic team that do come in. That's in my belief because of things that I see and I feel, each their own and all that is, and I have put it on my Instagram page again, was a picture that I got in because this day I was actually talking to Archangel Michael in my head, and then when I took this picture, this appeared. Now, it's going to come off not very well on this camera, but if you actually go over to my Instagram page, I don't know if you can see the face, the nose, the eyes, you can see a clearer picture on Instagram, and it's blue. You've got the mouth down here and the nose, but it is clearly seen, and it looks like a big star up here on it, and that was one of the things that came through this year for me. So to me, it puts me into that thing of it's alignment, and I know that I'm on the right path. I'm still working on myself like everybody else is. Like I said before, I brought this up before, you know, I like coffee, and that's an addiction. There's all sorts of addictions, so we're all working through our own shit, and that's fine. So yeah, but if you want to actually see that picture, yeah, the picture behind me with the blue thing, yeah, so yeah, it's like I was channeling that in. So if you want to actually see that and you're on Instagram, you're going to have to go to Divine Reiki by Janine, and I re-put it back up again. So yeah, where is that one? Where have I just put my cards? Oh yeah, let's do another one. I think we feel here through our hearts, and it's processed in the head, you know. But I believe a lot of people will process it through the head first and not into the heart. So they say heart's the first brain, which makes sense to me. But yeah, so I just had 2 curly whirlies. My fellow had a curly whirly before out of the selection box. We brought a few selection boxes and we were like, should we eat some? Clear your energy field. That's what it's all about. Clear your energy field. You have many fields around you. I'm not going to go into that now. But you should be clearing your field. This woman's saging, that's why I wanted a bit of that before. But that's also about clearing the things around you with your environment, people, things, places, things that you watch, things that you do, and you're going to change it up. If you're not changing it up, things are going to stay the same. Use your hands, get creative. Fix things, make things, get creative. That's a way of grounding yourself. When we are in this world, we can get too airy-fairy, and I think a lot of people like that, and I can be. You need to ground yourself. The way you ground yourself is, you can go and ground yourself outside there on the earth, but grounding also in this realm of being human could be, I'm going watching a bit of TV. Them normal things. I'm going eating a piece of meat. I'm going doing that addictions. I'm going doing that because that's how we ground ourselves in this earthly plane. It's not saying it's wrong. But, and that's another thing with spirituality, you're told what you should look like, what you should sound like, if you're allowed to wear makeup, if you're not allowed to wear makeup, if you can do this, if you can do that. I say it's all bullshit. I've said this before. At the end of the day, it's if you're a good person. That's what it basically boils down to. It doesn't matter if you're vegan, you're not vegan, you're vegetarian. Yes, it can make you feel lighter, and yes, I understand about certain foods, but I've also said, I've known people who are vegans who are shite asses, vegetarians who are shite asses. It means jack shit. Some people think if they're vegan, it makes up for a lot of things. Not offending vegans out there, that it means they're a spiritual good person, but they're still going around speaking to people crap, not doing good things. So it doesn't just mean that. Yes, it is all the bodies coming in, but what I'm trying to say is there's nothing more over this if your mental state of being, because if it's all about frequencies, therefore, if you eat meat or you drink, and it's all about not going in the excess of doing something, your frequency will change that frequency up to a good frequency. If you're eating a piece of meat and going to a fair, you're putting fear on that food. You're supposed to eat, if we're talking about food, what your body wants. So sometimes you might want a bit of meat, and then you might go back to eating more veg and more this, and then it might crave for a bit of fish. You listen to your body. You don't listen to other people who say, well, I did this and I did that. That's it. Well, you're not them. And someone was saying the other day, he's a healer, and he was saying, I went vegan, I did all this, but because he worked out a lot as well, he said, after 6 years, he said, I started not doing well, not functioning well, and I had to go back to eating a bit of meat, a bit of fish and some eggs and different bits. He said, because that's what, and he's come back to his full potential with some other stuff. He said, because that's what suited him. Not one thing suits everybody. So no, you don't have to be, I've said, sitting in a loincloth. It doesn't mean if you curse or swear that you're not spiritual. You don't have to do it the way other people do it because that was a modality or something years back. Well, new things are coming in as well. It's to do with you as a person, and if you're aware of what you're doing and you reflect, which I've talked about before, and you're working on yourself to be a nicer, kind person. That's basically the simple terms. Other stuff that comes along with it, yes, you might want to start eating this and doing that, but it doesn't mean because you're not, or you choose not to, because you might have done something and realised it's not for you. I've been vegan, I've been vegetarian. It didn't work. I sort of flip. If I feel like that, I'll have that. If I don't, whatever. So it's one thing that someone else says or a guru says, maybe because it worked for them, doesn't mean it'll work for you. So, yes. So, I don't believe it is that, Robert, anymore about not eating animals, because I believe you can change the frequency of that, and you could look at it like things might have been here to be food for something because it transmutes their thing, or that might be their sole purpose that they came in. So I'm not saying that's wrong what you've said, but the stuff that I have been into, believe, not into, and back in the days of the Native American Indians, it's greed what's up with the world today. They would have meat when they needed it. They didn't have it all the time. It wasn't in excess like it is now. The way people eat is greed. And they would use the bones and everything, and they would use it up for everything, and they'd pray over the food and give thanks to the animal. So there's a massive difference with the way you look at food and the way you are around food. There's a massive difference, but not getting into that. Yeah, honouring life. You can still honour that. There isn't a right or wrong way of that. It's you as a person and what you think's right or wrong. That's why I'm saying if people go into fear of it, you'll put that frequency on that thing anyway, because It's what you believe and it's the frequency you put on it. So out of experience, but what I'm trying to say is it's like one big joke down here anyway, in some senses, because don't do this, don't do that, and it's like you start listening to people and you get a bit lost. You just need to do what you need to do. If you like to be vegan, be vegan. If you eat meat, eat meat. If you both and you just listen to your body, do that. It's what suits you at the time, and you may move from that, and that may be the thing that you move to, but you just need to do what you need to do for you, because we're all different. I don't think we came here to be the same at all. Everyone talks about being one. Yeah, we're from the one, we're from the essence, we're from love, but we came here to be individuals. And to tell the truth, who knows anything? We know history's a lie, we all know that, but that doesn't mean anything about animals. But at the end of the day, we all know nothing. We all know nothing at the end of the day. What we were put here for. If we came in with a soul contract, how do you know animals weren't here with a soul contract? Just saying, just putting it out there. But like I'm saying, don't get offended. This is what I'm saying. You do you, people do you, and I'll do me. This is where I'm saying about not judging and people realising that we all have different ways of doing things. My best friend is into certain things and doesn't believe certain things that I believe into, but she's still my best friend. I haven't gone, oh my God, you're not this, you're not that, or when I was vegan, she was eating meat, I can't be around you. It wasn't that. We were just friends. So, yeah, when your body craves something, it's needed. But like I said, we're too greedy, we eat too much, so everything's over excessive, and it wouldn't be. Anyway, let's see what the secret light language, then we're going to go into a little bit of healing. But this is what I mean when people get triggered about everything. It's like, there's no wrong or right way. It's the right way for you. And don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Yeah, well, Danny Finker, if you breathe in a lot from your tummy, deep breaths up and out of your mouth a few times a day, and think about the things that you love and do that, a lot of anxiety will go away through deep breathing. Because when you center yourself, you can feel the energies going on, that, a lot of stuff that we think's going on isn't going on, but it will center yourself. Yeah, no fear, people, exactly. So this one's popped out. Divine Feminine. Well, Divine Feminine energy is coming back. That's about nurturing. There is a story to be told about her, but yeah, the love, the nurturing. It's like I said, truth is truth at the end of the day. The light is truth, and sometimes the truth is painful and it hurts, but it's still the truth. Some people think the truth is the light, because to me, the light, love and light is love, and light means truth to me. And truth to me can be painful. It's not always love and light as in, we mustn't look, There's a world awakening that's going on, and a lot of stuff that's coming out and is about to come out. I know we keep saying this, but it is coming out, and bigger things are coming out day by day, month by month. People aren't going to like, but it will, in a way, not force them to go back into themselves and look at themselves about how we live in this world and how we've been living and how people are greedy and this, that and the other and stuff like that. So it's all there. So anyway, that's why I said don't get triggered, just listen. Yeah, bringing yourself into the now is bringing yourself into center. If you're bringing yourself into the now, you're all right, you're happening. We're going to do that now. So if you want to join in, I've got the present to show you. I'm dead excited. You ready? This was for Christmas, but we're getting it early because I thought it was needed with the chat. There's probably loads of stuff I've missed out, but whatever. Now, this was a present that I got for myself. I've wanted one of these for ages, but it is also for you because we're going to be using it in chats. Now, this is for everybody who's been feeling out of alignment, even though it's for the heart. Sending love to all those that are in pain, lonely. For the lady that I was talking about, it is for you too. Just for people to heal. So we're going to, I don't know how it's going to come across on camera now. On the audio, it might not sound as good. There's a bit of a giveaway. But what I will promise to do at some point is buy a fluffy thing microphone, which will help it sound better. So sorry if it's not going to sound to its full effect, which I don't know if it will, but I will hopefully get it to in the end. So let's see. So can you guess what it is? Can you guess what it is? I'm trying to stretch my feet out there. Can you guess what it is? Something under the table. I don't get anxiety because I don't think too much on stuff and I focus on my realm. Can you guess? Dun, dun, dun. I know Lois knows. I know there's a couple of people that know. Can you guess what it is? And this beautiful purpley blue thing. Sandwiches. You're having a picnic. Are you ready? Oh, Dobsy might be right. Oh, could be. Ew. Now, you might not be able to tell what colour. It's green up here and pink down here, and it's a crystal heart chakra bowl. So pretty. I've been dying to use it, so it's come early Christmas present. So, oh yes. Now, like I said, it might not come across on here brilliant, and I might need to get a new microphone, but let's have a go. Heart chakra, because we all need to go back to love, so you know, yeah, there will be a bit of feedback. That's why I said I'm going to have to get a proper microphone. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments later. So like I said, I will try and get a proper microphone so it muffles the feedback out or whatever. So that's for you guys. And I think what I'll do is stick it there. Let's do a little meditation. So, just going to do this randomly, and I'll try and do that down there, and it might sound different. I think I've got a little. I've got a little thing it sits on, but I haven't actually got it with me, so I've got a feeling I chucked it out. Never mind. Anyway. So if we breathe in deeply from the tummy, through the nose, and out 3 times, up, feel in the now, this energy you're in now, up again, and out. Feel that calm place. If you want to close your eyes so you don't get distracted. Fingers are going now. Just sit with that energy a minute. You're going to visualise a white light. I don't know why I'm doing this, I'm just doing it. Through the top of your head. This white light is going to come down to your heart chakra. You are going to visualise the white light glowing, spinning clockwise and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's turned into this very strong green, loving, green heart chakra colour, or pink. And it's growing and growing and growing. You see it expanding around you, your whole body. It's a bit like an egg. It's growing. It's growing out and out and out. It's growing out in the area where you live. It's growing out in the area where you live. And you can see it expanding out around people in your area. Little threads touching people's hearts. And people receiving that energy. Like a burst of loving energy. You also see this expanding out to Earth, the planet or the realm or whatever you want to say. And all the people on it are just being awakened by this loving green energy. And everyone's spark within them is lighting up with love. And people are coming out of judging and lower negative energies. They're coming back to centre. They're coming back to love. And they're letting the old stuff go. And they're overwhelmed by this beautiful energy that they've never felt before. And they're looking at one another, seeing themselves in the other person. So nobody wants to hurt anybody. Everybody wants to help everybody. Everybody wants to do for everybody else and each other, and inspire and grow and expand together. Keep that feeling. Really see that loving energy expanding out, and see and visualise the world being as one like that, in that energy. And open your eyes. It was just a little one, like I said, the bowl may have not been on top form because I think I've lost the little, oh no I haven't, it's here. There's a little stand, a rubber stand that came with it. And I need a microphone with a defuzzer thing on it, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, you know what I mean. So, I'm going to go. Thanks everyone for coming in and joining in and just listening to what I had to say. Like I said, it wasn't negative, it was just something I felt that needed to come out because people have got to realise their own responsibility and what they're doing to themselves. No one's doing anything to you. You do it to yourself. No one steals your destiny. You're doing it to yourself if you choose not to put things into action. It's not really a time of sitting about much. It's about doing as well. So yes, you can meditate and all that. It's also about doing as well. So if you're not putting that forward, that's up to you. Everybody's right where they need to be. Everybody's in healing. Everybody's at different stages of healing. Hopefully everybody will get healed. But it's you that helps yourself to do that. No one can do it for you. You can't cheat it. You've got to do it yourself. So that's all I'm going to say about this subject. I know I've brought this up a few times again, but it is like Groundhog Day. But I'm not here to do that work for any other people. You've got to do it yourselves and find your modalities, if that's the right word, and things that help you to come back into centre, to come back into balance with being creative in the things that you do and the things that you speak and say, to be a kind human being, while we're all going through these crazy times on earth right now, because it's not a good thing to be in negativity and doom and gloom, even though it can look like that when things are going on. It's not helping the collective to be like that. So it's your choice, do as you please, but please remember, if you've been feeling like that, yeah, campfire chats, get doing the things that you love to do and bring those things back. Remember what it was that you love to do, remember who you are, and do more of it. Yeah. So yeah, hi and bye Astro King, I'm going now. So I hope you sort of got what I was saying, but like I said, that sort of energy is left there, and if that sort of energy wants to carry on with that, that is up to them. I choose not to. So I will see you soon. I will try and sort this out at some point with a microphone, but this is for everybody too. It's a big thank you for everybody that comes in. And also, yeah, and I'll have to talk about this picture more again, of the one we got, my boyfriend did, which was one of mine. If anybody's interested in it, I'm going to put it up on my Instagram page. But he changed it. It was a picture that got changed, but it is on a print on canvas, so it's a bit like a galactic being or something. We do know, but it is what it is. So, Patricia, I'm going now. So, yes. So, like I said, don't listen to other people. Listen to yourself. Do what's best for you. As long as it's coming from here, you will go far. And I will see you soon. Yes, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.